Hello and welcome back to Grinds My Gears. I'm back here on the main bus. If you remember last time I had grand plans which I explained at great detail about how I was going to send everything off to outposts to be made in idyllic isolation, starting with an iron plates outpost. And that all sounded absolutely wonderful. I then had a look at fluid wagons. To get to fluid wagons, I need red green, which I've got. Then I need basic science pack 3, which I haven't, and I need basic logistics. Okay, basic logistics, to make that you need electric engines, which I'm not currently making. For this basic science pack, you need red circuits, which I'm not making. Is it red or is it batteries? Might be batteries that I'm not making. Let's have a look. I made a little diagram of it. Okay, so to make red science, you need plates and gears. And you need iron plates to make the gears. Green science, you need red fluid and arms. To make the arms, you need plates, circuits, and gears. To make military, you need ammo and turrets and green liquid. That requires steel in addition to plates. Orange, it's these tier 2 assemblers. You need the same stuff, right? Gears, plates, circuits. So these are all gears, plates, circuits, copper, iron, steel. Right, the next one is dark blue. For that, you need red circuits and green juice. To make red circuits, we need plastic from petroleum. To get the light blue, which unlocks stack inserters, which we don't need for themselves, but we certainly need for the inserter bonus to get all the machines working at a reasonable rate, we need batteries, which needs sulfuric acid, sulfur, petroleum. Okay, then to actually unlock our fluid wagons, we need this cyan juice, which needs electric engines. It consumes this juice. To make electric engines, we need lube. So all of these are needing refinery products, and our toy refinery, to prove we can refine, is over here. It's in the wrong place for us. Okay, now I'm going to keep this because it's absolutely fine for the making area. I'm going to use this to keep making things for the maker. That's fine. But it's no good for these products. So I think what I'm going to do is, right, let's see if we can find it. I've put in this walkway. What I did was I started off here and then skipped down in 4s until we got below the green circuit build. Because as far as I can see, none of our builds get bigger than green circuits. So this would then be where we could put a new bus. Okay, so this walkway is above the bus. So we could start adding bus things here if we wanted. But it also demarcates our build nicely. Now, other things I've done. I started monkeying around with this. I put in a second orange build, second orange fluid maker, because we need orange fluid for making this. Okay. So I doubled the number of orange fluid makers, but kept the number of orange potion makers the same. We are now taking excess orange fluid up and over. Okay. So then I reworked this. We're going to have to get a lot more iron into this machine. Let's max rate this whole thing. Okay, so even with this build, we have a slight excess of blue machines. Not a massive excess, it's not a problem. To feed this, we need 1.688 transport belts of gears, just of gears, which is horrendous. We need 3.2 of iron plates, right? So really what we need is a new gear build. We need to take any overflow from here, although I've got a feeling that this is already... Let's do the whole of this and look at its gear consumption. Right, so we need 1.688 gears for the orange build and 0.9 of circuits. Okay, so the whole of this area uses 0.6 of circuits and uses 1.15 of gears. So we need 2 new gear builds. Okay, we need, let's max rate just this area, leaving out the gun turrets. Right, this uses 0.7 of a gear build. So what we need to do is drop in a new gear build, which pushes gears this way up the bus. The excess goes into gun turrets to top that up. Then we push back 2 lines of gears into this. God knows how we feed that. So to keep this running fully, we need just over half a line of gears. And to keep this, we need 1.1. So we're really talking about a red belt of gears rather than a yellow belt. Okay, so how do we do this? And we're looking at 2 and a bit belts of plates just for this machine, and just over 1 belt for this machine. All right, so the 1 belt for this machine is fine. We can bring in a yellow belt. Okay, so something like that. Once we get stack bonuses on these, that should be, we can replace that perhaps with a couple of stack inserters, it'll be fine. Okay, then this is the problem. So this needs to be more than 2 belts, 2 1/4 belts. So this needs 1 red and 1 yellow belt of plates. And we need to empty those belts. And I'm just not sure how to do that with this build. So I think the first thing we can do is change this to red. So at least it's got 2. Whoops. And then it's not going to be running quite at full speed, but we hope that's not a problem because we hope it doesn't need that much. All right, so this is a belt we're taking off. Where's this belt coming from? Okay, so I'm thinking this belt really should go away. And we should be using it. We should be using dedicated smelters for this. I'm not quite. I think this is one of these things where I was trying to make things work. Okay, let's max rate this all again for iron. Okay, so this whole thing uses 2.4 belts of iron. So we have 1 coming in here. And this whole thing uses 1.15. So we're slightly under there. Okay, so this uses 0.45, so that's fine. This uses 0.6, so that's more than the half it's being fed. So this needs to be upgraded to red. So this is what I was really hoping to avoid doing by going to outposts, but it's not going to happen. Okay, so this area here is using 1.1, so I need to get some more iron into this somehow. And one way to do it would be to make this line here red. Okay, so this definitely should not be split. Because it's half of the red line that we need here. And I'm not sure why it's wiggly, historical reasons. So what I should be doing is taking a red here, okay, then I should be prioritizing that. Then this needs to be red. Right, we can then upgrade this. And we can just bring it straight down, can't we? To there. Okay, so this is now receiving enough plates. Then this whole thing needs 1.2. Okay, we have some excess from here. This needs 1.15. It's being fed 2. So it's got 1.8 something left over. Sorry, 0.8 something left over. This needs 1.2. So we can then take this excess okay. Now, how much does this one need? 0.4. That's fine. So this can then take this excess. There'll be still a little bit left over. This is all dead. Okay, and I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this like this actually, because there's going to be a tiny trickle of extra plates left over. So this is output priority down. Okay, we don't need to split here anymore. And this can go. Okay, this is then feeding into the turrets. And the turrets require 0.8. Okay, so that's good. That's feeding into the turrets. Okay, and the turrets is not consuming the whole line. So we're going to prioritize out to the turrets. Then I really want to merge the rest into here. And I'm kind of running out of room for spaghetti for that. Okay. So why is that stopping short then? That doesn't need to, does it? Let's get rid of some of this ore. Right. Okay, so the priority split can now be here. So that's prioritized into the turrets. The rest is going to be prioritized onto this overflow. And I don't want to clash with this underground. I really want to merge it in there. But it's getting quite busy now. Okay, we'll have to merge it in later, I think. Problem is I don't want this belt carrying on. It's a bit of it's an annoying belt. Right, where else can we put it? This is the first we can bring it down. Okay, how else can we do this? So if that's put there, we could then put a filter for plates on it. Okay, and then that means nothing ever goes this way, which then means it's safe to bring this belt down. Great. So we need at least a red belt of plates down there. There we are. So we're now supplying this with a red belt. That's worth 2 belts. And we need 2.25. But I don't know where we physically get more inserters in. Okay, and it needs 1.125 of gears. We're supplying it half of gears, so that's this whole thing needs how much gears? 1.6, so nearly a red belt of gears. So we're throttled by gears at the moment. We could upgrade this. Okay, so let's go back to the gear situation. We are producing 1 belt's worth of gears. This whole build here, including military but not including orange, consumes 1.1 belts of gears. This whole thing, excluding military, is 0.7 gears. Okay, so what we need is another gear build, basically, that's bringing in gears this way. We want to dead end this into the build. We want to use a splitter. Okay, and we want to dead end whatever is left over of these gears into the build. now let's kill this. Okay. This is the yellow belt of iron. Okay, so let's move this over. Give us a bit more room. Okay, so the next yellow belt of iron we can pull is this one. Okay. And yeah, that's not ideal, is it? That's not working. This should be a half belt of circuits and gears. All right, let's get rid of those. Okay, we're still going to need that. And I've got the no inventory problem that I constantly seem to have. Well, I could do with more something, couldn't I? Slow arms? Yeah, we're going to have to build smelters in a minute. All right. So, I need another 4 belts of iron for a gear build. And that gear build is going to make 1 belt of gears. I need 1.6 belts of gears plus the overflow into this build. So that is 2 gear builds. That's 8 lines of iron. And how else can we do this? Okay. I have a limited supply of steel smelters. So we could do something with that. Look, this belt's got contaminated. Let's go up and see if it's a mistake or, yeah, it's just something gone wrong at some point. I've got a lot of the gears in my inventory. Let's see if we can burn some on something. Okay, we can put the coal away at least. Alright, I don't need copper at all. And where's coal gone? Oh, I've only got 1 inventory slot. I can make a bit of landfill. That doesn't really help. What can I make with that just needs iron? Don't want burner inserters. Let's make some more belts. Okay, there we are. Okay, so get rid of coal, get rid of the ore. That's fixed that. Because what I could do, where this is here, is I could upgrade this smelter to be a red belt smelter. Then we'd need to feed it 2 lines of iron ore rather than 1. Okay, the other thing I could do instead is upgrade this to red belt, and then we could double the gears it produces. Now to do that, we would need to feed it extra lanes of iron ore. Which will mean bringing in 4 more lanes of iron ore from here. And if we look on the map, where would that iron ore come from? There's a 2 million patch here that we could yoink, bring directly down, put in. That might be the best we can do. Okay, so let's start off by looking at what we would need to do to double this build. So this is a yellow belt gears build, and I'm thinking we need a red belt gears build. The simplest way to do it is to simply clone this. Here. Right, then we would do the lane balance here instead. So the whole of this build would go to one side of the belt. We'd make the output red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the output would be red from there. And the whole of this would be red. And then we'd need to bring in, right, let's go grab some supplies. So I need some red belts. I'm fine for yellow belts. Well, a couple of hundred of those. I'm going to need some steel smelters, which I think I made a stockpile of up here. I've got to upgrade 4 sites with these. Okay, let's see how much inventory I can get through by putting this down. Okay, so that's all fine. We'll be bringing in 4 red belts instead of yellow belts. So let's start preparing for that. Okay. Then trying to think of the best way to do the okay, so this would come down. It could feed these 4 rather than these 2. Okay, so I'm full of stuff again. All right, let's put down a box. Am I making AP ammo over here? I've got ammo, so I'm going to put down a box and fill it with AP ammo. Okay. Okay, that's freed up some space. Good. Okay. All right. So then, whoop. Okay, so then we can bring this down. It can feed this one and that one. Then yep. Then for the sake of simplicity, we can just split there and there. Great, so that's the gear build dealt with. Then we need a red split here. We need to upgrade all of this. Whoop. I think I must be tired or something. I'm making lots of silly mistakes. Okay, so let's ask if we have sufficient gears for this in that case. So, yep, we're consuming 1.15, which means we've got leftovers. Okay, so we can go back to what we had before here. Okay. So that's all good. Now we need to upgrade the smelting, supplying those 4 gear makers, 4 gear making lanes. Okay, and I am very nearly out of everything. Let's head downwards. Right. So here we are. This can have these to work on, because I certainly don't need this many yellow belts right now. Let's have all of that. Great. Right, I'm going to need some splitters. Going to need some undergrounds. Mainly I'm going to need these. I think that should do it. and we'll try and upgrade this in a Spartan way. Okay, I'm just going to do the first one while you're here. Okay, and we only need to upgrade half of the backbone. So that's 12. So this is as far as we need to upgrade. There. Then we need to upgrade the incoming ore, and we only need to upgrade that much. So let's go back down. This is the line here. There we are. Then we need to upgrade this splitter so that it can supply 2 lines, and then we need to feed a second iron ore into it. Okay. It's a different situation here. We need to feed 2 lines of iron ore into this. So this all needs to be upgraded to red. And there. Okay, then the last thing is the furnaces need to become steel furnaces. Great. So then where is the extra ore coming from? So I need 4 more yellow lines of ore. And now, did I put my car somewhere useful? Yep, it's on the end there. Okay, and I have some mining drills, I have some belt. Do I have wooden power poles? How am I doing for those? 37, that's not many, is it? Might actually be worth me building some wooden power poles. I will do that off camera. What I'm going to do is go up to this 2 million patch here, and I'm going to belt that down and dump it in as 4 lanes into those 4 smelters to get them up to red capacity and call that a job done. I'll do that off camera. We're not really making any progress, are we? But we have to upgrade the gear production, otherwise we just won't be able to produce enough of the further down sciences to sustain any research throughput. So I'm going to leave that here. Thanks very much for watching. I'll go ahead and upgrade the smelting stacks and bring in the extra ore off camera, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.